Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing the Q&A and 1,000 subscriber giveaway winner. So make sure you stay till the end of the video to find out who won the $50 Amazon gift card. But without further ado, let's just get right on into the Q&A. So I had you guys leave me questions over on my Instagram, which I'll pop up here. Make sure you go follow me there. And also here on YouTube. So I have quite a few. So I'm just going to get right into them. So the first question is, what is your least favorite and your favorite cleaning task? I would say probably my least favorite, probably just general picking up. Like I hate just like the general picking up, and also hand washing dishes I don't like. Laundry I really like. I like folding laundry because I put on like a podcast or YouTube video or whatever, and I will just like listen to that, and I like folding laundry that way. But I hate actually like doing the laundry, and I think it's mostly because my laundry is in the basement, and even though it's like it's not very far, it's not like I have a huge house, it's just such a pain in the butt to me to go down there and keep swapping it out all the time. So I usually wait until I have a huge stack of laundry to do, and then it's like takes me forever, and I have like 8 loads to do in one day. So I don't like the act of actually switching over the laundry, but I don't mind folding the laundry. That's probably my favorite chore. This is a really good question. If you could have a dinner party with 3 people, dead or alive, who would it be and why? I mean, I don't know how much of a dinner party this would be. I would love to have dinner with my dad, who has passed away. I would love to have dinner, just me and him one-on-one. So I guess I'm kind of like gonna split the question into 2 and say, like, if I could choose anybody in the entire world, I would like to have dinner with my dad, and also my grandma, his mother, and my grandpa on my mom's side. So I'd love to have a dinner party with those 3, because, you know, they're my family and they've passed on, so it'd be amazing to see them again. But if I had to choose like living people, I would probably say probably 3 of the YouTube people that have inspired me the most. Probably one being Love Meg, and second one being Kristen Martin, who is an AuthorTube writer. And she has a channel here on YouTube, and she's an AuthorTube channel. So she's an author, and she does videos regarding being an author. And if you guys don't know, that is, I am in the process of writing my first book. And also the third one would be Haley in Bookland, which is a booktuber who's quite successful. And she actually helped to inspire me to start my first channel, which is a booktube channel. And if you guys didn't know, I do have a booktube channel as well. I haven't posted on there in a while, but I am going to be getting back into posting on there, so I'll leave that information for you guys as well if you want to check out my booktube channel. Talk about nothing but books over there. So yeah, I think it'd be interesting to sit down with those 3 because they're all very successful in what they do, and they all have careers that I would like to have. So yeah, that's a very good question. What is your dream vacation? Probably in Europe. Like, I would love to see Switzerland, France, probably Switzerland the most. My grandpa came over from there when he was 18 years old, and I've just heard like so many amazing stories, and my mom got to go when she was 17, so I would really love to go there and kind of see like my roots and where I'm from. So I had a couple of people ask me like different variations of the same question, which is basically, why did you start your YouTube channel, or what makes you want to do YouTube? And I started probably 3 years ago, I think, and I started with my booktube channel. So I had that channel for well over a full year before I started this channel. And basically the reason why I got into it was because, of course, I just started watching YouTube, and I got so interested in it, and I found that there was booktube. So like, somebody had told me once, I can't remember where I heard it, but that you can find literally anything on YouTube. And I was like, well, I wonder if there's like people that talk about books on YouTube. So I just searched it, and this whole community of booktubers came up, and I was amazed at how many people had channels devoted to books and reading and the things that I like. And also like writing, being an author. I was just shocked. So I started watching a bunch of booktubers, and I got so inspired, and I watched like probably for a full year before I decided to start my channel. And one of the reasons was because not a lot of my friends at the time were readers, so I didn't have a lot of people to connect with on that level and talk to about the books that I was reading and what I liked and whatnot. But also I really wanted to start establishing kind of a community because I am writing a book. So eventually, you know, if I'd like to put that book out and if I had kind of like a base of people that were watching my videos, then perhaps they would be interested in buying my book. So that was kind of what had started it. And then I had my BookTube for about a full year. And of course I started like branching out into other areas, watching other YouTube. And I found Love Meg's channel and Brittany Vasseur, and I just kind of fell into that sort of rabbit hole, and I decided that I wanted to make videos like that as well. So I started my second channel, which is obviously more of a lifestyle channel. Recently I've started baking and I'm interested in baking a banana cake. Any advice before I start? I am not a great baker. I will be the first person to admit that. I have only recently, probably within the last year and a half, started to get okay at baking. I used to be the person that would like burn Pillsbury cookies because I was just awful at it. So, but recently, like especially once I had my son, I was like, I want to be the mom that bakes and like that makes like the best chocolate cake or whatever, you know? So I just started practicing and I've had a lot of fails, but eventually you just find like good recipes. I find a lot of recipes on Pinterest and just look at their ratings, look and like make things that other people have made before, and you can look and see like their suggestions under there, and you just kind of got to go for it because you're not going to get any better. It's like with anything, you have to practice to get better at it. Do you have any remedies for removing coffee stains from the pot? I've never really had that issue because I try to wipe mine out, you know, before it like gets stained. But I would say to try baking soda. Try a little bit of water, maybe a little bit of vinegar as well, and baking soda. And even if you use like a little piece of tin foil to kind of scrub that around, that should help take it off. Another baking question: what is your best attempt on baking? So the thing that I made that I'm most proud of is my son's second birthday cake. I made him a Thomas birthday cake. I'll put a picture of it here somewhere. And it took me 12 hours to make. And I had just found the cake recipes on Pinterest, and the chocolate cake, because I did the bottom layer to be a chocolate and the top layer to be a vanilla, and I just was winging it because I'd never made a cake from scratch before at this point ever. So this was my first attempt at baking a cake from scratch. And I just used those two Pinterest recipes. The chocolate one is absolutely amazing. I should link it for you guys. If I remember, I will do that. The vanilla one was okay. It was a little bit dry. But yeah, it's all about finding a good recipe. And this, yeah, that was my best attempt. And that's the thing that I'm most proud of ever baking. If you do go out to get essentials for the household, how do you prepare to stay safe? I'm assuming that's obviously with what's going on in the world right now. I am typically not the person that goes out to get stuff. I have every once in a while, but typically it's my boyfriend that goes into the stores and gets whatever we need. We do Walmart grocery pickup, so that has really saved us. We live an hour out of town, so you know, once a week or once every 2 weeks I'll make a Walmart grocery order and go in and pick it up, and it's completely contactless, which is amazing. And then everything that we get I bring in and I wipe down with Lysol before I do anything else with it. So that's how we're staying safe with that. Other than that, my boyfriend goes and he just tries to stay away from everybody. He doesn't wear gloves or a mask or anything. It's not that bad where I am right now, and actually our province, like I'm in Canada, and our province has just started reopening parts of it because we've had very low cases for a while. So hopefully that it stays that way. But we're doing pretty good in my province for cases. It's not mandatory that we are wearing masks or anything at this point, so that's good. What is your favorite beverage during the daytime? Water. I am a huge water drinker. I drink water 90% of the time, probably 95% of the time, all the time. It's pretty much all that I drink. I will drink coffee in the morning, and sometimes I'll have tea during the day and at night. But yeah, for the most part, water. And I'm not typically, like, I don't really indulge in alcoholic beverages very often. I'm not much of a drinker, every once in a while, but for the most part, I just drink water. What is the one dish your mother made you that you missed dearly? My mother makes the most amazing chili, and no matter how many times she gives me the recipe or how many times I try to make it, I can never make it as good as she does. So that is one thing that I miss a lot when I'm not near her. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing the Q&A and 1,000 subscriber giveaway winner. So make sure you stay till the end of the video to find out who won the $50 Amazon gift card. But without further ado, let's just get right on into the Q&A. Where do you think you want to take the channel next? I want to just keep growing, of course, and I would like to eventually add in more lifestyle content. Right now I am trying to grow the channel, and the best way that I've seen to do that is by kind of like sticking to the same videos. So I've just been kind of trying to stick to just cleaning content, because that seems to be what gets the most engagement and views. That seems to be what you guys like the most. But I have had a lot of people ask me recently about cooking videos, so I am going to start doing some more cooking videos, and even just doing like a get it all done with me and like do cooking and cleaning in those videos. I would just like to start adding more different versatile content. I did, when I first started the channel, I was doing a lot of like law of attraction stuff, which a lot of people say that they like, but then I find that I don't get very many people actually watching those videos, so I'm not sure, because some people, like lots of people say they love that, but I don't know, because the videos don't really do very well. So I'd like to be able to get to a spot on my channel where I can do kind of whatever I want and have people just like love whatever I do, if that makes sense. What is your favorite type of meat? Honestly, I'm not a huge meat eater. I could probably be a vegetarian pretty easily if it wasn't for my household. My boyfriend is a huge meat eater, so it's kind of hard for me to not. But if I had to choose, I would probably say either a really good steak or chicken wings. Chicken wings is probably one of my favorite foods. If the recent outbreak was not a thing, what would you be doing now? I would still have my daycare going. I did close my daycare due to the situation, so I would still be having my daycare going, and yeah, that's what I would be doing. What's the hardest part for you, if any, doing YouTube? I would say finding the time. Finding the time to film videos and edit them. Like, it all takes so much time. And like, it's really hard for me. Like, I've got one son who's 3, and so it's difficult like when my boyfriend isn't here, because he has a job that takes him away from the home a lot. So it's kind of difficult for me to film on those days, because I have him and he's like wanting me to keep him entertained, and like I'll get like 5 minutes of filming done and he comes and interrupts me. So a simple cleaning video can take literally all day because I've been interrupted so many times, and it gets frustrating because I'm like, I just want to get this done. Like, you can't just like, when you're doing a channel like this, you can't just clean your house and that's it. Like, you have to film yourself cleaning your house. So it takes longer because you always have to like move your camera all over the place and get different angles and everything. Like, when I'm hand washing my dishes, I do like 3 different kinds of angles on that shot. So it just takes a long time. And I don't know how people that do full-time jobs out of the home and have kids manage to get it done. Like, they must never sleep because I do it during the day when I have my son here, and I don't know how you mamas do it that have full-time jobs. Like, you are superheroes. What is your biggest challenge during this messy time? Probably just keeping busy with my toddler when we can't go do anything. It's really hard because we'll walk past the park, or we'll drive past the park, and he'll say like, oh Mom, I see the park, can we go to the park? And of course the parks are all closed. So I'm like, I have to tell him, no, like, the parks are closed, we can't go to the park. And he doesn't understand. He's only 3, so he doesn't really understand. And so I'm happier now that it's starting to be spring and summer, that we can actually be outside. We have a big backyard, which is awesome. I feel for people that live in apartments or areas where they don't have an outdoor space, because during the winter, like, it's horrible being cooped up inside the house. And when this first all started, it was still winter where we are. So it was really hard because there was nothing for us to do and we're stuck inside the house. So now that we're able to be outside, it helps a lot. This person is responding, I think, to my last video where I was doing the laundry, and it was the introduction to this giveaway, and I was talking about staying positive during this time. And so they said, staying positive in a crisis is the way to go. Besides that, what other advice can you give us? I would say just trying to remember that we're all going through this. It's not just you. Literally the entire world is going through this along with you, and it's a struggle for everyone, and we're all struggling in different ways. So trying to be aware of how you're reacting to the situation might be different from how other people are reacting to it. Everybody kind of deals with things in their own way. Trying to keep that in the forefront of your mind. And also just knowing that it will end eventually. Like it's so hard right now, especially those of us who really miss our families. I haven't seen my parents in like 2 months, and I normally see them like every few weeks. So it's really, really hard. And it's hard on my son. Like he doesn't understand. Like we live in the same town as my boyfriend's parents. And so, you know, they've come over a couple of times, and like they stay 6 feet away from us, but like we can at least see them. And it was kind of heartbreaking because my mother-in-law came over the other day, and my son instinctively just went to start running to her to give her a hug. And we were both like, no, you know, like don't hug her. And he just kind of stopped in his track, and he just like got really sad. And I think he thought that she didn't want to hug him, you know, but it was like really hard to explain these situations to little ones. So, you know, it's really, really hard. But you have to just try to remember that this will all end eventually, and things will get back to normal, or as close to normal as possible. So just try to keep that in your mind, and we're all going through this together. Just wondering what it was like when you were growing up. Oh, I had an amazing childhood. I was raised by a single mother, and she and I are so close. I'm an only child, so she and I are so close. I grew up super close to her. She was my best friend growing up and to this day. So I have so many good memories of doing things with her and hanging out with her, and we'd have movie nights, and she's responsible for my love of reading. So I have such fond memories of my childhood, and I wish I could go back all the time. In school, I was bullied a lot. I've always been heavier, so I was bullied a lot for that, but I also had a really amazing core group of friends. There was probably about 5 or 6 of us that were friends like all the way from elementary school to high school, and we're just thick as thieves. And I still have some of those friendships today, so that is amazing as well. You guys have met Lane before on my channel. She has been my best friend since 2nd grade, so like, yeah, so I have tons of great memories growing up, and I'm very thankful for the childhood that I had. If you can do one thing differently in your life, what would it be? I would say probably, I wish that in my 20s, I wish that I had spent more time focusing on making myself a success rather than relationships, because I had a few serious relationships in my 20s that I focused more on those relationships than I did on bettering myself. And I feel like, especially financially, if I had kind of like put in more work and saved my money and not gotten myself into debts and all that sort of thing, that I would be way more ahead where I am now. And I've always kind of wanted to like work from home or have a business from home, that sort of thing, but I never really knew what that entailed. And I feel like if I just would have researched that more, I would have found YouTube way earlier, and possibly could have started my channel years and years ago. And I mean, who knows where I would be at that point if I did that, right? But instead I was so focused on my relationships, which ended up not working out anyways, because I was in my early 20s and I didn't know what I wanted. Yeah, I just feel like probably would be a different stage in my life right now. But at the same time, I mean, all those experiences bring you to who you are today and make you into the person you are today. So at the same time, I mean, it is what it is, right? And you don't probably want to go changing things, because who knows if you would be happy with where you are also. This person is responding, I think, to my last video where I was doing the laundry, and it was like the introduction to this giveaway, and I was talking about staying positive during this time. And so they said, staying positive in a crisis is the way to go. Besides that, what other advice can you give us? I would say just trying to remember that we're all going through this. It's not just you. Literally the entire world is going through this along with you, and it's a struggle for everyone, and we're all struggling in different ways. So trying to be aware of how you're reacting to the situation might be different from how other people are reacting to it. Everybody kind of deals with things in their own way. Trying to keep that in the forefront of your mind. And also just knowing that it will end eventually. Like it's so hard right now, especially those of us who really miss our families. I haven't seen my parents in like 2 months, and I normally see them like every few weeks. So it's really, really hard. And it's hard on my son. Like he doesn't understand. Like we live in the same town as my boyfriend's parents, and so, you know, they've come over a couple of times and like they stay 6 feet away from us, but like we can at least see them. And it was kind of heartbreaking because my mother-in-law came over the other day and my son instinctively just went to start going running to her to give her a hug, and we were both like, no, you know, like don't hug her. And he just kind of stopped in his track and he just like got really sad, and I think he thought that she didn't want to hug him, you know, but it was like really hard to explain these situations to little ones. So, you know, it's really, really hard. But you have to just try to remember that this will all end eventually and things will get back to normal or as close to normal as possible. So just try to keep that in your mind. How do you spend time relaxing during this mad season? Yeah, it's definitely a mad season. You know, I don't have a lot of relaxation time between trying to get all my YouTube stuff done and being a stay-at-home mom with my son. I don't have a ton of relaxation time, but I am trying to do like projects around the house, where right now we're completely transforming our backyard. So I've been working really hard on that. I want to redo my kitchen, that sort of thing, which isn't necessarily relaxing, but I've been working on that a lot in my spare time. I would say the most relaxing thing that I do is reading. As you can see, I love books. I read a lot. That really relaxes me. Or sometimes just like throwing on a trashy YouTube video. Like I love watching reaction channels and drama channels and stuff like that. They're my guilty pleasure. So I will watch that and just kind of like zone out, and I'll be like scrolling on my phone, half listening to it, half not. I love doing that. Or like trashy TV shows like Jersey Shore. Love that. The best way to remove lipstick stain off of a white shirt. I've never had that situation come up, but one thing that I can think of is on Brittany Vasseurs' channel a long time ago, she gave a trick, which I'm pretty sure would work for this. So the trick that she gave is actually to get baby poop out of like their sleepers and stuff like that. So what she did is she just washed it like normal, and then instead of putting it in the dryer, she laid it out in the sun to dry, and something about the sunlight completely dried it like without a stain at all. I don't know how that happens or how that works, but I feel like it might work for your lipstick situation as well. So try that. Just wash it like normal, and instead of putting it in the dryer or hanging it up or whatever, lay it flat out in the sun on a sunny day to dry. See if that works. Let me know if you do it. Let me know if it works. I've been cooking for my girlfriend lately, and Santu said my cooking sucked. Do you have any good recipes to share? First of all, that is so sweet that you cook for your girlfriend. I'm sure she really appreciates it. A quick recipe off the top of my head is actually something that my boyfriend came up with that we have been making a ton of recently around here. We love it. And if you like a little bit of heat, this will work for you. So you just take chicken breasts and you just put whatever seasoning you have on hand, like barbecue seasoning. We use Hawaiian barbecue, and that's really good with this recipe. You put that on, and then you put some pickled jalapeno peppers on it. Just put a little bit if you don't like too much spice, but we like a lot of spice, so we put a lot. And canned pineapple on top of that, and melt some Swiss cheese on top of it. Stick it in the oven for 425 for like half an hour, 45 minutes probably. And yeah, it is amazing. Serve it up with some rice and a salad. So good and easy. I'm a single parent. I'd like to ask, how do you deal with housekeeping and deal with the kids? Yes. That is hard. I am not a single parent, but at times it kind of feels like I am, because like I said, my boyfriend works away for stretches of time. So sometimes it can feel like I am, especially because he works such weird hours. So lots of times when he's home, he's sleeping, he's trying to catch up on sleep, or he's getting ready to go to work that night or whatever. So a lot of times he's not with us even when he is home. So it can kind of feel like that sometimes. I would say try and get your kids involved as much as possible. Even like my son is 3, and I've been trying to get him into helping me clean up. So he helps me put away his toys. He loves to unload the dishwasher. I take out all the knives and stuff, of course. But he will unload the dishwasher and put all of the dishes onto the counter. And he'll also help me with the laundry. He likes to put, like, I'll give him the clothes and he'll put it into the washer or the dryer. He loves doing that. So try to get your kids involved, and then it becomes something that you can do together. But yeah, it's definitely hard. And then once they're like done and they don't want to help you anymore, honestly, I am that mom, and I'll just let them watch TV while I clean, because I just like, especially when I'm trying to film videos, sometimes I just need him to be away. and just like focused on something else. So if you can get them into like a game, or if you can get them into, I don't know how old your kids are, but if you can get them into like playing something on their own for a while, that's great. Or sometimes I just let them watch TV. And I think more people do that than we let on. There's such a society right now where it's like everybody gets shamed for letting their kids watch TV, but I think probably everybody does it. How are your kids dealing with isolation? Like I said, it's been tough for sure. Like my son is 3 and he doesn't really understand yet. So yeah, like I said before, it's hard when he sees family and he wants to go, or he'll ask me like, can I go to Auntie's house? And I'm like, no. You know, it's hard because they don't understand. And plus, like, we're also cooped up. There's not a lot to do. So it's tough. It's definitely tough. Would you consider yourself a morning person or a night person? I am definitely more of a night person. I become more awake in the evening, and especially at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, that's when I'm like wide awake and I want to stay up all night. And obviously that's not conducive to having children. So I've really had to try to turn myself around over the past couple of years, and I'm starting to get better at it, but it's definitely a struggle because I'm naturally a night person for sure. What is the hardest thing about doing YouTube? Probably just finding time for it. Do you have any tips on how to make a YouTube channel successful? How did you get to 1,000 subscribers? You have to be persistent. This is not something that for the majority of people comes easily. Like there are those people where they'll just blow up overnight, but for the most part, that's not going to happen. I've had this channel for over a year now, and I just made it to 1,000 subscribers, and that's working on it every single day and trying to connect with people every single day. So it's not for the faint of heart. You have to really be persistent at it, and eventually you will get successful, but it might take a while. I had my BOOKTUBE channel for a year before I had this one. Actually, I think 2 years before I had this one, and I'm not even at 400 subscribers over there. So, I mean, it's kind of a labor of love for sure. I would say my best advice is to make genuine connections and friendships on YouTube. And that will help you, because if you do collabs with people, that really opens up your channel. Like that's why I try to do as many collabs as possible, because it helps me and it also helps the person that you're collabing with, because you're showing each other's channels to each other's subscribers, so you're getting more exposure that way. So try to do collabs and try and make genuine friends here on YouTube. I've made a few really good friends, and we have started up an Instagram group where there's about 25 of us, and we're all just like supporting each other. So we have like a chat, and we all post our new videos in there, and we all go and watch all of each other's videos all the way through and comment and like and all that kind of stuff. And it really helps each other's channels to grow because we're getting more engagement, right? So if you can find people that you can kind of start doing something like that with, where you're all committing to support one another, that definitely will help for sure. Any more kiddos on the way? Maybe? My question is, oh, I think this is the last question. Yeah, this is the last question. If you could have any job in the world, what would it be? I would say probably being an author, and I love doing YouTube, so I would say being a full-time YouTuber and being a successful author. If I do both those things, that would be the dream. Anyways, you guys, so that is the end of the Q&A part. And so what I did was I just went through before I started this, and I did like the random YouTube comment picker, and it picked out Lucy Meyer. And her comment says, "Woo, congratulations girl, love the pic behind you. The ring light above your head is hilarious. I'm wondering what was the main reason you have started this channel. It is always so interesting to me why people start their YouTube and what is their goal here. So happy to hear you're doing great in Canada as well. We do have 0 cases since Monday in New Zealand. That's amazing. Still under level 3 quarantine, but it is coming to normal life slowly. So excited for the next week when we can finally go to a playground. I can't wait for that." So that is the comment left by Lucy Meyer. She also has a channel here on YouTube, so go and check her out. I'm actually subscribed to her as well. I think she does other cleaning content too, so go check her out. She is the winner of the $50 gift card from Amazon. So Lucy, check your DMs because I will be messaging you on Instagram regarding you winning. And thank you guys so much for entering. Thank you guys so much for leaving your questions and comments down below. I appreciate each and every single one of you so very much. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action.